because it almost.
So, man, I got my disappointed face on. You like the end of Loki season 2?
Yeah.
Him with the green time. It sounds like something I would make up. It really does.
A ghost, a ghoul, a goblin, a monster, a werewolf.
Went on and wrote in the comments. I was going to say that came out great.
You're off to a great start.
Yeah. We got some fun stuff planned today. We got some goods. Heck yeah, we do. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Happy to have you. I'm Cameron. This is Jared. And this is the podcast that never sleeps. So first, I got to say, because it's very important to me in my life.
Good.
I saw Thunderbolts. I know you
Yes.
saw it too, finally.
Oh, dude.
I know. And it was great.
That's all I wanted.
Yeah.
I was
great.
waiting for a movie, like a good MCU film that like moved the story forward, that had characters in it that we like, that and Brave New World was so
I didn't even watch it. I have
awful.
no interest.
It's just weird. And it didn't move the story forward.
No.
And so they threw an after credit scene in there just to be like, oh, by the way,
Yeah.
this story is happening if you might have forgotten because it's been a few years.
Yeah.
But it didn't add to the story they were telling in the movie. It didn't like, all it did was kind of remind you, oh, there's a multiverse.
Yeah.
Which is the one thing like people are trying
Are
to
so
like,
sick of.
yeah, they're like, well, what are we doing with it?
But no, it was great. And we actually have a video coming out about it.
Yeah.
So we did our Thunderbolts predictions video, which is doing pretty well. And
I think we got pretty
dude, we nailed
close,
everything,
yeah.
bro. Like, I don't know if you've seen it since you watched the movie.
I was
Bro,
going
we
to watch
nailed
it again, yeah, but I was pretty sure we had it down.
We had it down.
And,
Like we called it.
I'm
We called it.
excited to.
Even me saying the new Avengers, like we called it all.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I got some really cool articles, some funny and some wild articles
Good.
that I want to get to.
Yeah.
I,
I'm excited to like do predictions for Doomsday and all that. That's what I'm excited for. Only
Yeah.
because that movie's so under wraps. Like they're not giving anything away that we really are gonna.
We
have
got
to,
a
like,
video. We got a video
push
coming
to
out. Get ready for it, you Marvel fans.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're not into Marvel, I got some stuff for you still. So Jared, I came across an article that as soon as I saw it, I thought of you, of course.
That's funny.
Because it had something to do with MK Ultra, which is something I know
it's
you
a
know.
topic we've covered on the show a few times.
It sure is.
'Cause, yeah.
Do you want to remind?
There's no way we stop doing this stuff. Like, come on. If it works, it works. You know, there's still a whole task force of people that have been working on this since the 60s.
Bro, check it out.
And they've probably perfected it by now.
Moose 7, what's up, bud? So check this out. The CIA turned a San Francisco brothel into a lab. What happened inside is the stuff of nightmares.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds right.
Sounds, yeah.
How horrific. And that's funny that I'm sure they got paid well. So they were cool with it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm certain.
Like the employees.
So, dude, that's what's so dope about it is you had these women working with the CIA
Yeah.
so basically it was to gather information.
Yeah.
So, as the article reads,
Real life Black Widows.
yeah, in the late, in the late 1950s and early 1960s, a man who followed a lady of the night. Can we say prostitute? Dude, YouTube's so crazy.
Yeah, it is.
But so followed a lady of the night.
That works.
Yeah, into an apartment at 225 blah 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 in San Francisco's Telegraph Hill neighborhood. So more intimate encounter than he had paid for is what he got. Instead of the cramped, charmless quarters he may have expected, he found himself in a carefully decorated bedroom. Anyway, this is boring. Let me get to the goods. I'll just tell you what it's about.
Yeah.
So basically, MK Ultra, as you and I both know, was a way to mind control.
Yeah.
It was the CIA's
they
mind
wanted
control
to-
thing, right?
I think originally it started as a way to try to get secrets, like captured POWs.
Yeah.
During World War II is kind of where
To
it
get them to
spun
give
up.
up the goods.
Yeah, and
Sure.
I think the Germans were working on this, the Russians were working on it, we started working on it.
So we
How do
were
we
working
control
on
the
it.
mind?
And what
Yeah.
this was they would they would make cocktails of all these different drugs and they would dose these Johns and they would see if by using these women and these drug cocktails, if they can get info from people.
Yeah.
And if they can, then they wanted to utilize that and for foreign adversaries.
Because that would get your guard
Bro,
down
yeah.
if you're completely out of it. Because we know like LSD, like
But
connects
Yeah.
all these weird
But
parts of
also,
the brain.
like it better be a damn good cocktail, because I'm laying there with the lady of the night, let's
Yeah.
say. I'm not going to be like, by the way, we have this crazy thing where we have these nuclear submarines. Like, you wouldn't.
Yeah.
So, and then how
These
does
were
she press
regular
him?
guys though, right? So they were probably just like,
Well, these were the test
like
subjects.
tell us like just try to get secrets out of them if they could in general.
Sure.
Dude, so this is human experimentation
Yeah.
on our own population.
In like the 60s. Like it wasn't 1,000 years ago, man.
This is on Americans. Yeah. That
Yeah.
sucks.
And so basically they're like, yeah, let's see what we can get. So I guess in practice, it would have been like the woman would have been like, oh my God, tell me like the craziest thing that no one else. Like how would you go about it? Or are they just so out of it that it's like a mind control thing where they're like, the girl could just be like, so what are the nuclear codes?
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. Do the guys? So they probably had like one of the two-way mirrors, and they were watching.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
everything unfold.
Oh yeah.
And they would probably ask him like, tell me the worst thing you've ever done, or stuff like that. I'm sure there was like a list of questions of things that people would normally want to hide and have them, try and come out. I'm guessing that's kind of how it went.
Sure.
Yeah.
So D Lavar in the chat, what's up, buddy?
Yeah.
He said, hey boys, nice to see you again. Always a pleasure, D. And then Moose said, you say some wild stuff when you get blasted on some psychotropics, and we know this is true.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Even drinking gets people to spill the goods sometimes. So imagine
no, straight
you're
up.
in like another reality.
That's such a good point.
But how do you trust that information if people are just
They're
that
out of
far
it.
gone? Yeah.
I guess you would have to keep digging, right?
Yeah.
They'll be like, well, oh man, what's going on? Like, I feel like your head is a balloon, but also the nuclear codes are 47762.
Yeah. I don't think
It can't work like that, right?
Yeah, because something that specific, especially with math or numbers,
What's
or
up, CT?
memorization,
What's up, Chase?
That part of the brain might even go to sleep when this other part of the brain's waking up. So they would have to dial it in. But this is the beginning of this program.
Yeah,
So they're
yeah.
trying to figure out what remains and what goes, like when they're under
Sure.
these, and what's the dosage.
And that's
too
what you would have
much?
to adjust and stuff,
Yeah.
right? So I guess that's why they do these human trials
Yeah.
on these poor Johns.
That's great, and because they know these guys aren't going to go say anything. They can't.
Oh, that's a good point. True.
They can't be like, oh, I
True.
was paying for this service, which is
Yeah.
illegal.
By the way,
at this place that I don't want to tell anyone I went to.
yeah.
So like, they're never going to give it up.
Yeah, that's a good point. By the way, literally, oddly enough, I was just talking about this yesterday, saying that the world's oldest profession should be legal.
Yeah.
Get the pimps out of it, right?
Right.
If you legalized, then now it's just money. These women are safe. They can go to the police. They can have a place.
It's weird, though. It's weird when we get into like the way to solve some crimes is to make other crimes legal.
Sure.
Like it's always a tough conversation because you know that if it was legal, you would have a lot of it going on, and there would still be some of these.
Do you think there'd be an increased amount for sure?
Mhm.
But I think if somebody wants to go get a prostitute, they're gonna go get a prostitute.
Yeah.
It may incentivize some people if it's legalized to be like, I wasn't gonna,
Yeah,
but now I will.
Yeah.
But what's the problem with that?
Well, it depends. I guess
If there's supply,
if it's
and demand.
regulated and all that,
That's what I'm saying.
There's a lot of places where it is legal. So, I mean, in Nevada, there's certain areas where
exactly right. And are those women harmed in any fashion? No, it's
no.
totally legal. They make bank.
Yeah.
They own 2 houses and drive a Corvette
Yeah.
on the weekends because they drive their Tesla on the weekdays. Like,
Yeah.
It's crazy.
it is. It's a crazy business.
Chase said, will you read that for me?
Well, with the internet now, I mean, that's where a lot of people are making money. And
Dude,
they don't even have
OnlyFans.
to,
See, this is my point.
like meet in person.
This
or
is
risk
legal.
danger.
Bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They tried all different. They tried all different types of these
can say
chemicals
drugs, I'm
on.
sure.
Okay, to get people to spill the beans, and if they had to do, and all they had to do was take them to a club. Yeah, literally.
Yeah, Chase.
So they were doing it in hospitals. They were doing it in jails. We know that, and so they were also doing it in brothels, which are all places that make sense to try this stuff out. Like in Batman, you remember he gives Scarecrow a dose of his own medicine, and then he tries to get information out of him, and he's like, "Dr. Crane isn't here right now. Please leave a message
like,
at the top."
too
Because
far.
it's true.
We
Yeah,
did
like
too
you
much.
would
Yeah.
be a little
For sure.
You're not going to get much. So I don't know. It's an interesting experiment. It just sucks that they were doing it on Americans.
No, it's sort of terrifying. Yeah, poor people.
And
But,
this stuff came out. So was this part of like a recent document leak? Is that why it was like in an article recently?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it was like
because I know we knew a lot about this program, but we only know maybe like 20% of it because they burned the files. These are the files that didn't get burned. Are the few that we know about for MK Ultra.
Yeah, behind closed doors, the CIA conducted experiments that blurred the line between science and depravity.
Yeah, and which has always been the thing, right? Is human trials on crazy stuff like this.
Yeah. So the John had unwittingly become a subject of a CIA experiment focused on how drugs and sex might be used to obtain secrets from foreign adversaries, part of MK Ultra, the agency's border and highly controversial mind control research program. Yeah. Operation Midnight Climax. No way, bro. The names of these are the best.
Yeah.
Operation Midnight Climax? Yes, please.
That's hilarious.
I want that job. The guy coming up with names.
Yeah.
I want that job. But he said, so Operation Midnight Climax began in 1954. The experiments involved luring men into heavily surveilled bordello, dosing them with LSD, and filming their reactions to probing questions and subliminal messaging.
Yeah.
So, subliminal messaging. That's a great, use.
Yeah.
For that.
Because that's the part of the brain, that wakes up is that subconscious.
Yeah, when you're all like... high.
It'd be funny if like all of these people were like, oh, I met an entity that told me, everything that was wrong with myself, and I'm actually cured of my sex addiction now, and I never have to come back to a brothel. Thank you.
Yeah.
Like,
thank you, CIA.
Yeah. I realized I was caring about all the wrong things in life, and this
everything changes.
Journey has really changed me for the better. This is the best.
That's everyone's reaction. They fixed the existential crises averted by
illegal. Pharmaceutical companies are like
exactly right.
No.
Yeah. Wait, sex and someone to hear you out?
Don't you guys have more like people in like the jails you can do this with? Like, let's do more of those.
They said, but it wasn't long before the research devolved into revelry, Jared. By the time the program was canceled in 1963, the project had become headquarters for what one writer called, quote, CIA carnal operations.
So dude, that means they were doing this for 9 years.
Yeah.
How much data?
Dude, how much? Yeah.
9 years.
How much data that was just pure nonsense did they get? Like crazy stuff. Like, I remember my mother, she would leave the door open when she showered. It's like, what? What are we doing here? Yeah, what?
Yeah, state secret, maybe.
yeah. Hopefully.
Mother Margaret Thatcher.
Yeah. It is people of note.
Yeah. Holy shit.
Gorbachev has the thing with his mother. Yeah. So it's canceled in 1963. All right. While Operation Midnight Climax yielded little insight into mind control, it did provide plenty
They're like not even trying to hide what it is. So, okay, I have this idea. It's called Project Midnight Climax. Say no more.
Done. In. Yeah. How much money we talking?
Funding approved.
Yeah. So we basically just got to hook up this brothel.
We already know what you're going to do. You called it Midnight Climax. Okay. I'm just getting a sense of brothels, LSD,
correct,
state secrets,
correct,
mind control experimentation.
Cool.
Okay, we're on the same page.
$5 million to start.
Yep. Yeah.
And then we'll go
what's
from
crazy?
there.
So like the remote viewing program, they got like $20 million over a 20-year period or something like that, which is like nothing. And they were like locating nuclear submarines and saving terrorists, stopping terrorist attacks. And it's like they were like, you can have these pins,
couple shekels.
Because these guys, they didn't believe it. They just truly couldn't believe that it was real. Like every year they have to go make the case, and then they'd have to get literally every year. So they would
call Joe McMoneagle and be like, hey, buddy, we got another one of these. Will you come in
to prove every year? You'd
again
have to prove
and prove it.
How put off he'd bring the guys in, and then always some jerk off was like, "There's no way this is real," and they'd be like, "Okay, write down anything." Right?
Yeah,
and they would write down. He's like, "Okay, this is your summer house in West Virginia.
Yeah.
I'm seeing green thatched, whatever roof or whatever. And
I'm seeing a door open. The shower's on.
Yeah." Oh, you have a safe. Oh, you have your mother's pearls in the safe. Oh, wow. What a cool heirloom. Oh, and I see there's also a stack of cash next to it.
Those couldn't be my mother's pearls
Ooh.
because that safe, I was assured, is uncrackable.
Well, nobody told me it was uncomfortable.
The best. Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah.
So fucking
When
good.
she and the music,
Dude, no, her shoulders drop. The
she
whole
becomes a different person.
dude, that movie is so good. But we've talked about that at
Jane
nauseum.
Yeah.
Chase said they tried all day. Is that the one you read? Yes, they did. Okay, so Moose Evans said sounds like a seedy movie from the 70s. 100%. Felicity and Jessica are
And
here.
let's-
What's up?
Let's look at the timeline here. So they started in 54, and in 54, I guarantee this is like, okay, this is a sensitive. We're going to use these mind expanding drugs, and we're going to do it in a brothel, and like there's going to be some sexual interaction involved with this these drug take. And then by 63, they're like, yo, we're just doing the thing we do all the time.
Yeah.
Like this is, just, I mean, money, because we're doing this. Like the rest of the population's just doing it on their own. Like we were doing it in secret. We don't have to even hide this anymore.
Foolish. Yeah, what are we doing?
So change the name to Wednesdays.
Yeah.
And let's just keep going.
Just keep it moving, baby. Yeah,
Funding,
100%.
No, not required. This is 63.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet you. What's his name? Jimi Hendrix was one of their victims.
100%. They go to dose and they're like, "Oh, don't worry, sweetheart. I got my own
He
stash."
came out of there and was like,
Yeah.
yeah.
He came out and he's like, "Wait, I'm left-handed?"
Yeah. And they're like, yeah. He comes out and they're like, "This is a government program." Oh, it is.
Yeah.
His famous opening.
That'd be so sad.
That's why he wrote it.
That's where it
He's
came
like,
from.
Yeah, the government's inspired me.
Did you hear that? It's like they've been saying it forever, but it's I don't know if it was ever proven. They said Jimi Hendrix would cut his forehead, and then he would put LSD.
When people hit him with chairs, pretend to hit him with chairs, he'd cut his forehead.
What is he, a pro wrestler?
Yeah, that's what I'm.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Oh.
You hit me with a chair. Hold on, give me like 3 minutes. So you know where they keep
That's
their blades, by the way? Not
no,
to digress.
they shouldn't even do that. That's like crazy. They're cutting themselves.
WWE, I know. Well, dude, and if you cut deep, have you seen like the wrestlers like Devon and
I'm
stuff?
sure they have scars and all
it's
kinds
crazy
of shit.
scars. But you're supposed to just cut very gently.
Yeah.
You know, I couldn't do it. I'm a pussy.
With all this
There's no
going
way I'm
on,
cutting
they're
my
just
own.
like, operating. No, it's like they're just
It's
doing
insane.
it. And it's like, oh.
Yeah, because
hopefully-
you're in the match, and as soon as you lean down, you cut and
You cut me too deep, dick.
Stu.
Yeah.
Fucking.
Yeah, they were pro wrestlers.
Coming soon, Midnight Climax. You'll blow a load of cash. Well said, Moose Evans.
Yeah, that's good.
That we need to make that movie in the 70s.
Speaking of operations with ridiculous names that allude to exactly what they are.
Talk to me.
So Operation Immaculate Conception.
The scariest name of anything ever. Yeah,
Immaculate
go on.
Conception. So this was the name of
No,
the
Constellation.
Constellation. Sorry, Immaculate Constellation.
Yeah.
yeah, because the other one is the biblical
Jesus
version.
Christ.
Yeah, but that's what they kind of are alluding to with this
Sure.
name. Okay, so Immaculate Constellation.
Insane.
It was the most classified name ever, where even if you uttered those words anywhere near any listening device, a phone or anything, you would get on a watch list, the NSA watch list immediately. That's how secret those words were in combination.
When we first spoke about it on this exact podcast, there was no Google search results for it.
No. Yeah.
It was like until
the article came out. And then when they looked at the history of it, it was during David Grush's testimony outside of Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. The
So
only
weird.
search. So there was like a couple guys that were like, did he bring up this? Yeah. Let's see if he said this.
So Immaculate Constellation. So I remember this. Yeah.
So the guy who actually came forward and so we never knew who the whistleblower was, right? We just knew that was the name of the program. There was a secret source that gave up some information about what the name of the legacy UFO program actually was. The one that they've been using to hide this technology for 80 years. Okay.
Yeah.
So the guys that actually know, they work on the stuff, the bodies, the craft, so the guy who actually was the whistleblower finally had to come forward. He recorded an interview in case something happened to him.
Sure.
And then once he got to the point where he felt that his life was in danger, he allowed Jeremy Corbell and George Knapp to release that interview, and it was just released on
Wait.
on YouTube. His name's Matthew Brown.
And that's who he had do it, was Corbell and
Yeah.
George Knapp.
Yeah, so it was Schellenberger that he gave the documents to, that he wrote about what the program's name was and what they were doing.
Yeah.
And then he wanted to remain in the shadows. But what he gave up was enough for him to become identified. Once they identified him at the Pentagon,
They look at dates. They look at
Everything.
the amount of information,
who he's been meeting
Sure,
with, and
sure.
they narrowed it down and got him.
Or Jeremy Corbell just wrote it on his schedule.
Right,
Meet
yeah,
with
it's in the background. on the
McKenna,
video.
what's up, girl? Good to see you.
So once this happens, so once once they find out it was him, there's reprisal. They're coming after him, his job. He's even getting death threats.
Of course.
So now he's afraid for his life. So he pulls a Bob Lazar. He releases the video in an attempt to save him his life. He thinks that they're going to hurt him,
Come after him.
his loved ones, and he says he was threatened. As he basically says that.
Wear a mask. I'm not afraid of these bums. It's not for you. It's for
Yeah.
the people you care about.
Yeah, same movie. So he comes out, and in that interview, it's a 3-part interview, so there's a lot there.
Like, how long is each part? Like an hour?
Longer.
Really?
Yeah. So you're talking about
like
like
6
maybe
hours
6
of shit.
hours
Wow.
of just. But this is because he really wants to get everything out there, and there's still things he holds back. He won't say.
So
But he knows.
what's some of the info out of those like, did you watch? How much did you
I
watch?
watched them. Yeah,
You watched all of it?
Yeah, I watched all of them.
So what, like, important bullet points did you glean from
So
it?
this guy, so this is the guy that knows. Okay, so he
What's his name?
confirms his name is Matt. I just said
It's like a
Brown.
B, yeah.
Matthew Brown.
Matt. That's a fake name.
So he's been working.
That's a fake name.
He's been working in this program for a long time, and he knows for a fact that all of this is real. That we have recovered craft. That we have reverse engineered some of the technology to a lesser degree. It's not like we can't do it.
Yeah.
We can't duplicate it.
Yeah.
But we can get.
It's like,
close.
if we want to go again, Marvel, it's like with in the Avengers, they get the tech from what's that army called? Those losers.
The Chitauri.
Yeah, the Chitauri.
Yeah.
They got Chitauri tech, even with the Tesseract, and they
make their
integrate it
own-
into stuff.
Yeah.
They couldn't recreate a fucking Infinity Stone.
No, yeah.
But they were able to be like, okay, we can make guns and shit out of
Yeah.
it.
So yeah, we got some cool stuff out of it. But it's like the weird. It's more of the reality stuff that's really that's what struck me the most.
What do you mean?
So this is a guy that knows for sure there's NHI and has read everything that we know up to this point about studying the entities themselves, the craft, everything. And they asked him, so the things that you can confirm, what can you confirm? And
Okay.
he says, I can confirm that not only do we have the stuff, that we have been able to recreate some of it to a lesser degree.
Crazy, yeah.
The military doesn't have access to it. There are some things that they are allowed to use, but for the most part, they have no access to the technology that we're creating using this reverse engineering.
Yeah.
So they're not. So when people say like the Tic Tac is like a Lockheed type thing,
That's nonsense.
like we would never deploy that in a war situation.
Okay.
We're keeping all that. Why we're doing that? He doesn't answer that question.
Oh,
But
okay.
he's saying like the military themselves, it's this shadow organization that oversees all of this.
So
that
the
is
military
lying.
literally doesn't have access.
They literally
to
don't
this
have
stuff.
access to it. They don't even know it exists. There's like only a couple people that he calls like these all access guys that know everything.
And they're not governmental, part of a governmental
no, in the
body.
military. There's only like one. There's like
got
one
you.
or two, and that's it.
And the majority
rest-
are a third party black ops.
Yeah, it's all like contractors that have the stuff,
Wild.
that work on the stuff. They're contracted out through this way. Nothing can be FOIA'd. This way, nothing. There's always plausible deniability
yeah.
on the government side.
FOIA, Freedom of Information Act. So
You can't get any of this stuff. But so one of the things that really struck me is that he said that our reality is a lie. That it's a curated reality, that science that we know is basically being curbed intentionally to only let us get so far, that whatever these things are, they live here. They're on Earth. Do they come from somewhere else? Maybe, but they have been here for a very long
He's
time.
saying this?
He's saying this, and that they know for a fact that they are always here.
But
these things.
But what is here? He's saying our reality isn't
Earth.
real. It's
No, but
it's
he's
the
saying-
Matrix.
He exactly what he says. Those
It's
exact words.
simulation theory. Oh, he says it's the Matrix.
Yeah, he says we basically are living in the Matrix, but it's like a more boring version of the film.
Jeez.
That our reality itself
It's the-
and our science is controlled by these entities. They only allow us to go so far,
That's the worst.
and they
So guys, we live in the Matrix. No way. How cool. Okay. But you can't like run on walls. You can't
no,
stop
they
bullets.
can, we can't. Like we're the ones being curbed. That we're the ones
sucks.
that are being stifled. That it's humanity that they're controlling us from in some form.
Okay.
That we can only go so far.
And
Even
so
our science is
what do you
controlled.
What do you think of this?
I think that is scary, and
Sure.
maybe that's a secret
I mean,
worth keeping.
Do you
for
think
80 years.
you think this guy's telling the truth? You think this guy's just
No, this
nutcase?
is it. This is the so when they asked him, what can you like 100% verify, and then
Yeah.
what are your thoughts? What are your guesses? This was part of the 100% verify stuff, that we know that these things, whatever
according
they
to
are,
him, though.
according to all of the documentation and all of the research we've done, and he's
But
part
it's
of
not
that
like
program.
he gave us, it's not like he gave out this information saying your reality is not real.
No, he read
This
it.
is just coming from him.
This
Yeah.
is coming from the program.
Sure.
Yeah, not
But-
him. No, it's not him. This is the
He's relaying information. I
Yes,
understand.
yeah.
I understand. But I'm saying this is still us just trusting him.
So that's always what it is, right?
Well,
so
no.
you can go to prison or be killed trying to maybe smuggle information out of a facility or something. There are or his whole thing is I came forward, the next guy has to. Nobody's just going to take my word for it. So
Yeah,
now
exactly.
it's your turn. And basically,
Well, hey, if he released like some documents or something, I know now that he
there
now
is
that,
no
now that
doing
he said his
That's
name.
not a thing. You can't just release documents. So I know
course you
firsthand.
can.
No, you can't. I know firsthand what it is to work in a place where data cannot leave. There is no way to get it in or out. That's it. The data lives
Snowden.
there.
Snowden.
No.
did it.
He didn't work in a place like that. So in a program
He worked for
like
the
this,
NSA.
no, yeah, but he worked at the NSA, and he worked on the servers, which
I
were
understand you're saying this
outside
is super
servers.
secure and getting stuff
More
out
than that,
would be very,
It's
very
impossible.
difficult.
You can't
Yes.
leave. Yeah, so there's
They make it that way intentionally,
Right.
of course, obviously.
you can't send anything out. There's
Sure.
no
I get it.
internet
I get it. I
access,
get it.
and you can't walk in or leave with anything on you.
Yeah. So
Okay.
McKenna says she doesn't
Yeah.
believe in that theory, the simulation theory.
So it's not simulation theory. It's our reality. So yes, you could take it that way as a simulation. But I don't think we're plugged into something. What he means by that is
Our
what
reality is
we're
being altered
seeing-
around us.
Yeah, what we're seeing and what we're allowed and how far we're allowed to get and what we can see
Mm-hmm.
is controlled. It's all being controlled. We are not in control of that. We have free will to an extent, in his words. But what we're allowed to do isn't everything that is possible, and that is somebody's managing that for us.
Yeah.
That's why I think when people do these psychedelic trips or when they move past this reality where
I
it's
get
just
you.
the
They
five
see,
senses,
yeah.
they start to break out of the matrix. It's
Like
also
people who
the-
do DMT and stuff, they say they see like aliens in
Exactly.
in a
They move
room
beyond
full of circuitry and all
just
this like
what,
tech.
we say it all the time. We're filtering things out.
Yeah. Like the story of the Native Americans who couldn't even conceive the idea of the boat that was right in front of them.
Yeah, well,
because something floating on the water of that size was
And
unfathomable.
What have we been doing for every civilization has done it? They have these secret societies, if you will, or these places where they would go and they would take psychedelics, and that's how they would.
Let's go.
That's how they would move
Yeah,
forward.
yeah,
That's
They're like, they'd be like, oh, let's build pyramids.
philosophy. I mean, so the ancient Greeks were doing it. The ancient Egyptians were doing it. They were always using these.
Given life, what's up, boy?
Or the Buddhists that would, using breathing exercises and meditation to break out of these filters.
I get
to
you.
see what's beyond. I think that's what he's saying is we're trapped
Perceiving.
in this box. Yeah,
Yeah.
where we're not allowed to see beyond it. And when
Okay, so it's not simulation theory.
no, we're not plugged in somewhere. But what he does say is confirmed by the program that human beings are a resource. to these beings. That
So that is very Matrix-esque.
humans somehow there is something that we provide to them that they need.
You know what
like
it is?
humans
It's not.
themselves.
We're not batteries like in the Matrix. It's our collective consciousness. That's what they tap into.
So that's
Who knows?
interesting.
But you know what I do want to say is,
Go ahead.
guys, make sure you hit that like button. The show's still going on. I just want to say, make sure you hit the like button if you're liking what you're seeing. If you've liked anything you've ever saw from us, we do have a lot of cool content coming out. Shaybot's in the house, GL's in the house. And if you want to be as cool as Given Life, if you want to be as cool as CT or D Livewire with their sick badges, become a member. It's a great way to help us. And we appreciate the heck out of it. There's a 99-cent tier member. If you want to do that, more power to you. God bless. But yeah, we appreciate you. And yeah, let's get back to the show.
Yeah. So I was thinking about this. So the reality it's being curated. I think we've felt like this as human beings so far back as to the ancient Egyptian civilizations, the ancient Greeks. We had Plato's cave. The idea that that if you grew up in a cave where shadows were being projected on a wall, and that's all you ever knew, you would believe that was the world.
Sure.
And even if you climbed out of that cave and saw the real world and came back, nobody would believe you.
Yeah.
They would cast you out, and they'd be like, "That's a crazy person. What? There's no way that there's a sky and the trees and all these things. This is all there is." But it's breaking out of that cave and seeing that next level. So I came across an article. And it's weird that all of these things are happening in succession. We've had just a lot of things going on all at once. So you have this guy finally come forward and tell us that our reality is curated and that it's
that's wild.
being built, so to speak, like the Matrix. So a quantum AI, ran an algorithm based on space-time and the universe to try to find patterns in the universe.
Let's celebrate their third super on a live stream.
Oh, McKenna.
The one, the only, the beautiful McKenna. Thank you so much. You are the best. We appreciate that more than you know. You rock so hard. Thank you, McKenna. You rock. God bless. God bless. And that's her third super on this live stream.
Yeah.
She's the best, man. And she's an OG.
Yeah.
She's been around forever.
For a long time.
She's the best.
Yeah.
We love you, McKenna. Thank you. Thank you so much.
So we don't want to just take this guy's word for it.
Okay.
I came across this article recently. Literally, this guy did his interview. His third installment of his interview was today. So he did then this hits just, I think, yesterday. There was a quantum AI that was looking for patterns in the universe, just patterns in the literally in the fabric of space-time. And it finds this pattern, an underlying pattern in the fabric of reality that would show there was some sort of consciousness there, that there was intention, that it wasn't just a bunch of random molecules that landed where they landed, that there was intent behind how everything in the universe was created.
Proving God, perhaps? What are we
proving
talking
intelligent design of the universe.
Yeah.
And this is without any human intervention. We just got a quantum AI computer and we listed and let it go. Look for patterns. And the patterns it found was basically like source code built into the fabric of space-time.
Don't we not have quantum computers yet?
Quantum AI. So this is an AI at the highest level, that has access to the most resources. And Michio Kaku, who is the guy, the physicist, the astrophysicist.
Oh yeah, we all know Michio Kaku.
Yeah, he's very famous. He's almost as famous as Neil deGrasse Tyson. He's been talking about the multiverse. He is. He's like on every talk show, on every podcast.
Is he?
You don't know who Michio Kaku is for real?
Nope.
Yes, you do. The old Asian guy that talks about the multiverse.
I assumed that's exactly what he was, but no, I don't know who that is.
Well, he's very famous.
If you said Michio Kaku, the Irish guy,
they brought him in to look at the results of the patterns that this AI caught on to throughout the universe.
Okay.
And he said, based on the patterns, it looks as if the universe itself is a conscious.
That's such a trip.
Being. So
I don't know if I hate or love that.
The guy that worked in the program said God is real. Like he said that there is,
and he's American.
Yeah, there you go. Right? He basically not only said the world is like this fabrication almost that we're limited in access to, but he also said that when you're in this program, you realize that everything points to some sort of supreme being, some sort of God in charge of this. Then we have a quantum AI finding patterns in
So-
space time.
See what McKenna said on every show
Yeah.
and podcast, Jared. She's never heard of him. So,
Michio Kaku.
yeah. In the chat.
If we pulled up a picture, you would know who he is. I promise, McKenna.
Let's pull up a
Yeah,
picture.
pull up a picture because this guy is like super famous.
It may be in your circles.
No,
How would you
well,
even
if you watch
begin to
like
spell
any
that?
morning show, it'll come right up. There you go, came right up. Yeah, he's
After I
like
typed it-
super
after I-
famous.
Bro.
You don't know his face?
No.
Are you kidding me?
What? We don't, bro. Not everybody watches the
Joe
shit you
Rogan.
watch.
Yeah, he just did.
He's been on Joe Rogan.
Yeah, of course. He's been on Joe Rogan more than once.
Okay.
And he's been on
Says who?
the
No, I'm
morning show, the Today Show. He's been interviewed by every Tonight Show host, Jimmy Kimmel's, and all of those. They've all had him on. He's like a DeGrasse Tyson for the multiverse. He's what's it called? He's the one who came up with string theory.
come
He's
on.
famous for string theory.
Come on. I see that. But
Yeah. He's the proponent of string theory. He's the guy that as soon as like the multiverse became something household because of like Marvel movies, this guy blew up because he could speak to it in a way that everybody could understand. And he's probably an agent of chaos. Yeah. I truly believe he's spreading disinformation when he talks about string theory. But when he looked at the measurements of this quantum AI, he too felt that it was showing us that there's intelligent design behind the universe, that it's not a mistake, just some happy accident, that the universe exists, that there's life on this planet. None of that is random. It was all designed.
Yeah, that's insane. What do physicists think of Michio Kaku? I find his books interesting, though sometimes I feel like I'm reading science fiction. Let's see what they say. So this is Reddit. My personal opinion, anyone who is able to discuss anything science related in such a way that it makes the layman genuinely interested in the science itself is a benefit to society.
And that's who he is.
But the only issue is this science fact or is it in fact science fiction? And you can quote me.
Yeah, this is string theory and multiverse.
Your
theory.
string theory.
That's what he 100% believes that's all real. And he speaks to it very well. Here's the problem with string theory.
It's nonsense.
Yeah, it's kind of it's stifled like the field of physics for decades, and prevented us from making breakthroughs that
Genuine breakthroughs.
actually change the physical world.
So he's a
string
detriment.
theory is all theoretical.
So he's a major detriment to the scientific
he
community.
is. But because the multiverse has gotten so popular with Marvel movies and stuff like that,
Not even Marvel movies, just in general.
quantum computers.
Global zeitgeist.
He's like the guy for quantum computing. If you want to talk about quantum computers, anytime IBM does a press release or
They call it Michio
NVIDIA,
Kaku.
that's who they call in to speak to it, so that the normal everyday person watching the Today Show can understand what the breakthrough was. He explains these breakthroughs in quantum computing. Did you recognize him, McKenna?
No.
Well, you'd have to watch the news or something to know who
What are you
he
trying
is.
to say? She doesn't watch the news?
Or
I watch
Joe
the news. I'm sure she
Rogan.
watches the news. We watch Joe Rogan, but we haven't heard of Michio Kaku. Anyone else in the chat, if you want to let us know if you've heard
He's
of
been on
Michio
News Nation
Kaku.
1,000 times. He's been on Joe Rogan 3 or 4. Like he's been a part
but
of the conversation for the last at least 6-7 years. Like
maybe I haven't
on the
Maybe
regular.
I haven't went to Google and typed in.
Quantum physics,
Quantum
string
computing,
theory,
yeah.
quantum computing. Yeah,
He's definitely an agent of chaos.
yeah.
Maybe, but no.
No. So, I have a
I've
lot
never
of problems
heard
with
of it
string theory. But either way, how crazy that there's this guy working in this legacy UFO program who studied the bodies. He says that there are multiple types of beings. That's been corroborated by several people.
So
in the
she said,
program.
News Nation, LOL. Then she said, I don't really watch Rogan. Yeah, I don't watch Rogan anymore either. Sometimes
have to
I'm like, he had
listen.
Woody Harrelson on, and it wasn't even like fun. I turned it off. I got bored. He used to be
thought I
so much
liked
better.
that one.
Here's what he's
Woody
doing.
Harrelson was great. What do you mean? That was a good episode.
Maybe
I
it
liked-
was. Maybe I didn't get to the goods.
Yeah, you probably
Because
because
here's what he does. You have Woody Harrelson on, bro. You know what I want to hear? I want to hear about his career. I want to hear about all the dope shit he's done. I want to hear about filming True Detective. I want to talk about.
They get into a lot of that. They
Bro,
get into
no.
His
Here's the problem with Rogan.
reactions with different people on set and different directors.
That's all I
with.
want to hear about.
He gets
Here's what
to all
Rogan
of it.
does now,
Yeah.
and this is all he does, and I promise you it's all he does.
Okay.
Because there's literally, McKenna said she likes watching the podcast and never sleeps.
Yeah, that's a good choice.
Because she's a genius.
That's what I would do.
Yeah, very smart decision, McKenna. So here's the problem. Ooh, never mind. No problem at all. Chase Mack coming in with the goods, and he says he's loving the fucking goods. So thank you, buddy. You're the man. Chase Mack with the donation. Let's freaking go. We got a great chat today.
So tell me, what are you trying to say?
So here's what he does. He'll bring up all the same shit that he likes talking about.
Yes, that's his show.
But it used to be not as bad, but now when it would come up, like it would come up. But now he just mentions it out of nowhere. He'll be like, so you hear about this shit with the political nonsense? Like, dude, come on, relax. And then he'll get into not even the bow hunting and elk meat shit anymore.
Yeah.
He's so focused on, so Woody, you were in that movie about an athlete. What do you think about trans athletes? And nobody fucking cares. I want to hear about his career. Stop bringing shit up. He brings it. That's what made Joe so good is he would ask good questions. He could listen. He could have any guest on, and he would know how to navigate the conversation because he knew a little bit about enough to be able to have a good conversation with these people.
He just had Hal Puthoff on, and they didn't talk anything political at all. Not one. And that's a good guest. This is the guy that talks about all the fun stuff.
And I'm sure
Ultra.
a lot of people would have enjoyed that.
Yeah.
But Cameron wanted to see the Woody Harrelson episode when Woody's talking about his life. And not just Woody. He's had so many
Tim
good
Dillon,
actors on.
He's funny when he's on there.
And what did he do with Tim Dillon again? He brought up a bunch of...
Well, that's because Tim Dillon's become like a political comedian.
Well, because
He's
he
changed
does
his whole thing.
He just tries to do like whatever Rogan wants him
You
to
think?
do. He's one of the Rogan 6 for sure, yeah.
Yeah, he's funny though, dude.
Have you heard... He is
very
funny.
funny. And
Have
he
you
did
heard
a-
his impression of Rogan? It's so weird.
I have not of Rogan, but I've heard his impression of some other people. They're really good impressions.
So it's a weird... Yeah, man. Oh, he's bombing, man. Oh, man, he's up there. He's bombing, man. And that's a perfect impression of his
That's
impression.
weird, yeah.
Does Rogan do that? I'm not aware.
Not that I remember. Yeah.
No,
I
he's
think,
bombing, man.
I think with Harrelson, he did that because he knows Harrelson's politics, and maybe he wanted to see him have that discussion.
wanted to see
because not
it.
a lot of celebrities or Hollywood stars
align with his
will
politics.
not align, but will actually say what they actually think about some of these things. Some of them too much of it. Some of them not at all. Some of them are afraid to take a side. I think Woody Harrelson isn't.
But Woody didn't bring the shit up.
Right, but I think that's kind of Rogan's thing is also getting people to talk about things that they probably wouldn't on any other show. 'cause
And
he
that'd be
has them for
fine if
3 hours.
every now and then,
Yeah.
every 15th guest, every 5th guest, he'll bring it up. Even on every episode, he brings it up
I don't
and
know if
then stops and then
Yeah.
moves on. But it's always like trans athletes, relax, dude. Like he's so focused on it. He brings it up every episode. It's crazy.
I don't notice that being up on every episode, but
Everyone.
but look at like that the Hal Puthoff one's such a good one.
Yeah, but he's had some great people on, and he just I feel like hasn't had the best conversation he could have. He's not Rogan from like 5 5 years ago. Rogan, he was the best of the best. Because like I said, he could have anybody on. So speaking of anybody, great segue.
Yeah.
Dude, I read this article about this woman who made maybe the most drastic body transformation ever. So I want you to see her. And the audience, whoever, all of you that are watching and not listening, I want you to see this. And those of you who are listening, I will describe it to the best of my ability. So hold on. Jared already got a peek at the goods here.
Yeah, Chase, I'm worried about that show. I don't want to spoil anything, but like episode 2, season 2, I was like, I'm done with this show.
Oh, Last of Us?
Yeah, but I hear there might be some flashbacks.
Dude, there is.
Looking forward
It's so
to
good.
that.
The
So
show's so good
I'll keep watching it.
because you didn't play the game. And by the way, don't get it twisted. The game, the second game, was controversial. People were like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
But which stands to reason because what are you doing, right?
Yeah.
But the game, it goes cool places. and the show is going cool places.
I'm
This
excited
last
for
episode,
Fallout, dude.
did you watch this last episode?
No, I haven't watched it since episode 2.
Oh, you're missing out on really good TV.
Someone told me today that I should watch it again.
You have to.
Based on why I stopped, and so I will.
You have to.
Yeah.
And it's not just about Joel. There's so much good stuff. There's some weird shit. There's some stuff that I don't love, but
Yeah.
like they wasted a full episode in my opinion. Out of
I'm gonna check it
a
out.
season that has like 6 episodes, they wasted a full one in my humble opinion. So Jared, let me show you this woman. Is this an ugly woman by your standards,
No.
or by just societal standards?
Nope.
This is not an ugly woman, right?
No. This is like every woman now.
Yeah, she's a pretty girl. She's wearing a lot of makeup, has a filter
Yeah.
on, whatever, but not a bad looking young lady.
Yeah.
Okay, do you want to see her today, my friend?
Sure.
How's that for you?
It doesn't make any
Would you say that's an
sense.
improvement, or would you say that she looks like a skeleton? She looks like Skeletor if he was a rock
This
star.
was all by choice?
I hope so. If it was forced upon her, that'd be awful.
No, I mean, like, did she have a like degenerative disorder that?
Mentally, possibly. Look,
Yeah.
so for those who were just listening, the woman was a pretty young blonde lady, and now she has the nose of Voldemort. What am I looking at? Skeletor? What are we looking at?
It's Red Skull. That's a Red Skull nose.
So she got a Red Skull nose. Her whole face is tattooed with flames on her lips, on her giant fake lips.
Yeah, the
And
lips
then
are weird.
Dude, even the eyebrows. I just noticed the eyebrows.
Yeah,
It looks like those little straws.
they just drew.
You know those black straws that are like too thin to sip out of, so you need
Yeah.
2 for like cocktails? It looks like one of those straws for each
Yeah.
fucking eyebrow. She
Yeah.
looks literally insane and terrifying. Could you imagine waking up next to that in the morning, bro?
Yeah, that's a scary
Come on.
person, dude.
Chase is laughing at your Red Skull.
Because that's what it is. Like,
McKenna said, it's scary. I don't want to look.
she would roll up and be
I know,
like,
I know.
"You have to make a choice. The soul stone requires a soul."
A sacrifice. Yeah, the sacrifice would be hanging out with her. Dude, look at her.
Jared, son of Odin.
So, yeah, and then her breasts are entirely tattooed black.
what?
Brother,
That's
what?
not. Yeah, that's weird.
No, that's not the, what's it called? The bikini.
Like a bathing
That's
suit.
her. The bikini starts and ends right there. It's like a
So
leather
she said,
looking.
Just paint me black.
She said, hey, destroy my entire body and face. What surgeon in their right mind would say, what are you doing the theme to? What is that?
Paint it black.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. Yeah. So
That's
she
the
goes to the tattoo artist.
She fell asleep.
Yeah.
He just spray
Yeah.
paints her. Yeah. No, this is awful.
Is it
So,
not
no.
awful?
It's a choice,
It's a decision. There's no doubt.
and it
And-
was awful.
Yeah. Then you see like the ribbed
She even
forehead.
has like a hood on. That's a yeah. She went full Soulstone Guardian.
You never go full soul stone.
Yeah, you never go full Soulstone. Oh my
Daniel
God.
Day-Lewis in My Left Foot. Yeah, he had problems, but he wasn't full. I can't even say the fucking words.
Thank
It's
you,
not funny.
Moose. Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, painted black. You knew, dude. So scale of 1 on a scale of
That's like Michael Jackson went far. You know what I mean?
bro, Michael
This
Jackson.
is way.
He'd say, "Ooh."
This is twice the Michael Jackson far.
No, this is okay. On a scale of
Yeah.
let's say Haley Steinfeld. Let's do I'm trying to think of like just a normal woman.
Yeah. She's
No,
she's
oh,
normal.
I got a good one. Ready?
I don't think she's done anything. Steinfeld? I think she's like normal.
Oh no, she is. No.
Yeah.
That's my point. Like, yeah, no alterations. On a scale of Haley Steinfeld to Voldemort, Michael Jackson being 5, where's she at?
Dude, Voldemort is more
Sexy.
attractive
Yeah.
than her. No, seriously.
Voldemort's got sex appeal.
Because all the paint and all that just
It's
yeah.
insane.
Without it, she would just be Voldemort. Seriously, without the paint, she'd just be Voldemort. But that's worse.
It's
Like,
a
that's-
real issue.
dude. That is the most frightening person there is.
Jared, it is. And who would date this woman?
She's like one of those fake, like, what are those creepy pastas where it's
Yes.
like, yeah, that's
Yes,
like,
that's
they
exactly
show the
it.
picture and they go, have you been seeing this
The
person in your
slender
dreams
woman, whatever the
or
fuck. Yeah,
whatever?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, if you
That's
go,
that's what she is.
if you say Michael Jackson in the mirror 3 times, she shows up.
Best GL said best Halloween costume. Oh damn, that's just you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's dude.
Exactly. I'd be like, oh,
What does she
that's your
go for
face.
as Halloween? Could you imagine she looks like the blonde, like
she
the original?
that's her Halloween
Yeah.
costume is the first picture. Yeah.
Yeah.
She goes as Michael Jackson.
So she does. She puts like all the makeup on. She could cover it all up and look normal. And then when
But
she
she'd have to put on a fake nose.
wipes it off, and then she's like, "Oh, who does that?" The Joker, when he
Yeah.
wipes off his makeup and he has the white
That was
paint
genius.
underneath.
Yeah.
That's the best.
Well,
yeah.
he's wiping it on in
Yeah.
real life. Genius.
So good.
But dude, do you remember that commercial back in the day? It was an anti-smoking commercial, anti-cigarette commercial.
yeah, the teeth. And
So
all
there's
that.
this beautiful blonde, and then the wig comes off,
Yeah.
and then the teeth come out, and then the makeup gets wiped
Yeah.
off, and she went from like a oh damn to like a oh damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, real quick. Anybody remember
That's
that?
real too. Like, so that's
yeah.
the thing with today is like, dude, beauty is like purchasable. So when you showed me
Yeah.
that first picture, I was like, yeah, that's every
girl ever. Yeah,
now.
exactly right.
They can all look like that.
Yeah.
Like that. There is
The
there's a
lips.
price tag on looking like that. Anyone can be beautiful now. It's,
Dude,
it's just,
like,
it's for sale.
The amount of BBLs I see,
Yeah,
it's insane.
yeah.
But
what,
maybe
what a business
it's
to
probably
get
just
into.
because
I should have.
it's probably just the
Seen that
website I'm
coming.
on. No, in IRL, the amount of BBLs I see, and I'm like, how does she even afford it? Like, it's like you said,
It's all
it
like
can
instead
be-
of going to college, that's
Yeah.
the credit line they
but
get.
she took out a
is for
loan.
that.
Yeah, exactly right. Which is smart. Great job. Great fucking decision. Stephanie, we're gonna call you. Great decision. God bless.
Yeah, that's crazy. Voldemort is dead on. It's except worse.
I know. Voldemort. You hit the nail on the head. Voldemort's better looking.
Steven, son of Rogers.
Jared, question of the day.
Oh, you're bringing the stone back?
What's
I'm not sure what to do
going
now.
on here? Yeah. Jared, question of the day.
Do I die?
It's like I will die. I'm
just
gonna
showed up
unalive
here.
myself. Yeah,
The speech.
I'm getting out of
I
here.
came up with on my own. Like there was no instruction manual really.
According to us, Odin.
I just
is the
showed
one that
up
told
here
him.
one day and
Yeah. It's the worst. Yeah, I was
the
fighting Captain
lore,
America. Then
I
boom.
came up with it. Like you don't really have to jump off. I can give the stone
Yeah,
to anyone I want.
Yeah, whenever I want, you just appear in the water holding the stone. I just make.
I just come up behind you with like knockout gas, and then I put you in the lake and place the stone in your hand.
Yeah, it's super
I'm
fucked
just
up.
sick.
Yeah,
I love watching people jump.
yeah. What am I just gonna do that and not have any fun? You got to sacrifice the one you love. But anyway, Jared, question of the day:
Yeah.
what is your guilty?
Wait,
what's
Can I
up?
give you a question of the day?
Hit me, boy.
Do you think they should have removed that scene with Tony when he snapped and went into the soul world?
Yes.
You don't think that because we saw Thanos go into the soul realm when he snapped, and that makes sense that would happen.
Yes.
And I love that it was Gamora, and it was, did you do it? What did it cost?
Everything.
Everything. That conversation with Tony and his daughter after he snapped
Yeah.
could have been really great.
Can I tell you what?
Sure.
I think it was a great decision to remove it, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
I think it was great because that would have totally killed the momentum. Could you imagine instead of seeing everything dying and Rocket, hiding with Groot and then the thing disappearing, take all that away and you have this scene of these two people talking? No. And here's another reason why. Not only would it break up the pacing, but
Where would you put it? Where
Exactly
would you have
right.
placed it? I have
Now-
an idea of where I would put it because we
not,
can
not
still
in
have
either
all
of
that.
those movies. Yeah.
No. I mean, in that scene, I know where I would put it where you wouldn't lose any of that.
Where?
Is after she says it's okay, you can rest now.
But
You could have it like,
we
like,
know it takes
zoom
place
into
as
his-
soon as you snap,
but
right?
you could see like that it was happening simultaneously, kind of. That like when she can still say you can rest now, and we can be where he's walking.
And
in that
also,
soul
no,
realm.
because I don't want to
'Cause
see him
he's
up and
dying.
healthy. He just went through a crazy fight. He just sacrificed himself. I don't want to see him standing there, chilling.
But
because
depending on
Thanos
the
survived,
dialogue
that's why that
between
was
them.
okay.
But the dialogue between them could have been a great goodbye. And
No,
kinda
I
wrap
think
it
we
up.
got what we needed
The
with the I Love You
recording-
3000 and all
yeah.
that. I think we got what we needed.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
don't know. I think
It was a
would've
great
been
question.
cool.
That's why it's a good question to ask.
It would
Because
have been. I love the movie how it is. I wouldn't change it, but knowing that was an option, I think they could have done it. They could have pulled it off.
Chase said, quote, "You want to return the stone? Geez, the economy is wild. You can't even sell Infinity Stones in it." Then Felicity said, "Yes, I like that." Not sure what she's referring to though.
So check this out. In Loki season 2, there's a moment where they have to make a decision to reset the TVA, and it turns off missed minutes. It also shuts off all of the dampeners that shut down the magic, so people can't use magic there.
Oh yeah,
And the Infinity Stones would be able to be used. So
Yeah.
there's a moment in the TVA for just a few minutes where anybody
Ooh.
could have had the power of all the Infinity Stones
I hated
and
that.
used them.
I hated that they had all these Infinity Stones and they're like, oh, they're paperweights.
It makes sense
Oh,
that
I hated that.
based on the lore that by removing an Infinity Stone, you cause a
Well,
Nexus event.
But yeah,
So that's why you would have a ton of.
but we also know
Stone
Infinity
people.
Stones don't work in other universes. They only work in yours.
Right. We
right?
know that, yeah. But the TVA.
I understand.
Yeah.
But it was just it. We didn't need that. We didn't need it.
Well, to kind of show how powerful that place really
No,
was.
I get it. I understand.
Because that's the moment where Loki really realizes, like, wait, these are worthless here. Like, is this the greatest power in the universe? And it is. They have all the power. They
They got
control
all the power.
the timeline. They control
Yeah.
If they decide that there is no Tony Stark, they can make that happen.
But yeah, no. So
They're
I
in
didn't like
full
that because
control.
don't build something up so epically and then just make it a gag, a quick stupid gag. Yeah, there was no
I think
need for it.
The weight.
They could have even said
show you the weight of the
no.
power.
We
there.
know. We knew.
It sits
Really,
outside of
if we
time
took
and
if we took that scene out, do you think the show would have played just the fucking same?
Well, so his goal was to get back to the Space Stone to leave,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe that goal would have never left his mind unless he knew that was
No. I'm not saying don't explain it. I'm just saying
So I thought that was okay. I don't mind that.
then there's
But
like 7 in just that one dude's
that's
drawer.
what's interesting. Like how cool? No, because they were all over the place.
That's the
Yeah.
point. There's
Yeah,
a billion
they're useless
Infinity
there.
Stones. It's so
Yeah,
stupid.
because everyone. They
I
kept
get
trying
why.
to keep
I'm saying it's stupid.
that dude. They've been
I'm not
there
misunderstanding.
for a billion years, maybe. Like of
I'm not
course-
misunderstanding.
Yeah, that would be
It's
what you
stupid.
have the most.
In
Of.
my opinion, yeah.
It's not stupid. That makes total sense. 1 + 1 = 2 with this. I don't
I,
get
like
it.
I said, I understand. Like, wait, why are the Infinity Stones? I understand.
And we
I'm saying
needed
it's-
that moment for Loki to let go.
Okay.
Right? And realize that he can't
You're telling me I
overpower them.
liked it.
No, I'm saying
Okay.
it was necessary.
Okay.
Yeah, as a scene.
Okay.
We needed him to let go of trying to get to the space zone. We needed
And that's
him
all.
to
That's all you
realize
need
the
to say.
TVA's power.
Oh, sweetie, Space Stone
and
doesn't
that
work
they
here.
were outside.
None of the Infinity Stones work here.
Yeah, this
That's
is
it.
the most powerful thing
Yeah.
in the universe that we've been all talking about for
Yeah.
the last 15 years.
Just say it. Yeah. Just say it.
Useless here.
Yeah, just say it. Don't show 20 in a drawer and call them paperweights. It's I understand why they did it, and I think it was a bad
It
decision.
wouldn't show the weight of it if they only showed the one. Didn't work. You
No,
have
don't
to
even show.
that they-
Say, just say, nah, man, those don't work here. I'm sorry, brother. Those don't work here.
No, I think.
And even the
showing
Infinity
it
Stones they
is
showed
better.
were like props. They didn't even look like the actual Infinity. I hated it. I hated it.
I think.
But anyway,
you're the one
let's
that always
move on.
says "show, don't tell." But okay.
Well,
all
there's
right.
there's a time to show and there's a time to tell.
In this case, I guess you think it's not use. Okay.
Well, no, I yeah, I
it's a
explained
long
why.
show. Go ahead.
I explained why.
Yeah,
No,
go
I
on.
already have. I'm saying, but yeah, it just took away all the weight of the paperweight. But yeah, you love it, and I'm glad you did.
Okay.
So, question of the day: guilty pleasure TV, and then a TV show or movie, and then we'll wrap up because we got a lot to film.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So
Can I give you one of mine?
Yeah, go for it.
Have you ever seen the show Below Deck?
No.
Okay, so my ex was a big fan of that show, and as you know, the shows your girl watches, you watch. It happens, right? I loved every second of it.
What
Fantastic.
is it?
Oh, you don't know? I thought you said you
No.
said you've never heard of it. Oh, I'm
Never.
sorry.
I've heard the name. Don't know what it is.
Oh,
don't
okay.
know what it's about.
Bro.
Nothing.
So it's
Yeah.
first of all the coolest job maybe ever. Also maybe the worst. It's about people who work on our crews on those boats that those yachts. Those like you rent them and
Okay.
those beautiful like multi-million-dollar yachts.
Yeah.
And people rent them out and they go on vacations.
Okay.
So it's a bunch of rich people, and these are you have the
It's like
servers.
a reality show?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. It's like servers. It's like the cook, the captain. It's
Yeah.
all the characters, all the people that work on the boat.
Okay.
And they have their little sleeping quarters, but it's always like different people, often different people, because they'll have
They rent them.
they rent. No, I'm not saying. I'm saying the employees will be
Oh,
different
okay.
people.
Yeah, yeah.
So you have a lot of the same because they'll follow those same people.
Okay.
But this chef moves on, so they got a new chef, and then this girl just got hired, so now this guy and this girl are hooking up, but he used to date this chick. Dude.
Yeah.
It's quality television.
Okay.
I'll tell you, it's quality TV. Below Deck. OMG, never thought my two worlds collide.
That's funny.
She watches Below Deck.
Yeah.
It's the best. Every man should get into Bravo shows. Yeah, good point, Felicity. All the girls are sounding off. They're like, yeah, fucking hate you. She said, I love those shows. Yeah, Below Deck is so good. There's also Below Deck, like Mediterranean or something. There's like offshoots. And then another one of mine is because of my sister. She loved these movies, and so we watched them on repeat. It's Spice World, the Spice Girls movie, which I believe is a high quality film.
Yeah. I remember
Fight me.
liking it.
I believe it's like a high quality film. The humor hits.
I remember
think
it
it's
being
clever.
funny, yeah.
I think the acting is good.
Yeah.
Like the girls do well. I think it's just funny enough, just clever enough, just dumb enough. It's good. It's funny. And then the other one is Josie and the Pussycats.
Okay.
That dude having the movie phone voice guy implanting subliminal messages in music tracks.
Yeah. That's
Genius.
fun. Yeah.
Red is the new black or whatever. Everyone buy red t-shirts.
Yeah.
Genius.
That's funny.
McKenna, is she the sweetest or what?
Yeah.
Thank you so much. McKenna, again with the donation. God bless you. You are just a godsend. We love you so much. You need your own Bravo show, McKenna.
Yeah. So
Thank you.
So I really like so there's this movie on the Disney Channel that came out a while back, and it's called Lemonade Mouth.
Yeah.
Freaking love that movie. I watched it with my daughter for the first time because
It's a kid's
it was
film?
about that age. It's like it's high school kids. They all get in trouble. They're not bad kids, but they all get in trouble on the same day, and they have to do detention in this storage room where there's all these instruments, and they start playing the instruments, and all of them can play a different instrument, and one of them starts singing, and they realize that they're good together.
We have a band.
And they start a band.
Lemon Mouth is the name of the
But
band.
they're all the outcast kids.
Oh, yeah.
Lemonade Mouth, because they had this gross old lemonade machine down there.
Mm-hmm.
And they would drink this old lemonade when they were down there practicing and writing their songs. And then that became the name of the band. But the songs are really good. And it's just a fun movie. And so we
Okay.
ended up watching it, and I liked it so much. We ended up watching it a lot because
Really?
I probably enjoyed it more than she did. But it was, the music, the songs are just great. And the Kardashians, I've watched every season of the Kardashians, even the Hulu episodes, like the new
The
episodes.
Kardashians.
Yeah, I've watched that show since
And
the
you watched
beginning.
Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
That's what I mean. Yeah, I've
That
watched
was a
both.
great show.
Yeah, I've watched them all.
Keeping Up is also, dude. Well, that isn't a Bravo show. That was on E.
Yep.
But man, even like Vanderpump, like the Vanderpump Rules.
I watched some of those,
shows.
and those, they're okay. But yeah, the Kardashian shows, I always watch, and I watch them from the perspective of none of this is actually real. You can tell this is all set up. Like,
Yeah.
they weren't all like, oh my God, let's blow up a bunch of fake blow up whales and put them in Chloe's room because she's scared of whales. That's an obvious bit. Somebody wrote that.
A producer said, hey,
a
you
writer
guys should-
was involved. There was like these were planned. None of it seems real to me.
Yeah.
But I still enjoy watching it. I can watch it. I can watch that show all day long. Just
Yeah.
binge that shit.
So
Yeah.
you know what? I've had the opportunity to work on reality TV.
Yeah.
And I also know, so I know some things. I also know stuff about, just the production side, just because I like that stuff. So it depends on the show, of course, but there will be interference with from the producers and stuff. But often it's suggestions.
Yeah.
It's not like just written out bits where they're like, okay, today you're gonna boom, 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 and they'll be like, hey, what if you went in Chloe's room and you they'll suggest stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know, because the Kardashians was so successful, I don't know if they straight up just wrote out stuff.
Well, like, oh, Scott's gonna go buy a Phantom today, and what's her name is gonna get
Chloe,
mad.
yeah.
No, not Chloe. The other one.
Is it Christina?
I can't
Courtney.
remember. Courtney. Yeah, Courtney's gonna get mad that he bought this Phantom, and he's gonna start using a cane to walk around with as an accessory.
So
none of that shit is real.
I think that the cane thing might be real. Like, Scott's crazy.
Yeah, but just some of it, you're like, come on.
As an avid Kardashian
Yeah.
fan, like you are, I would say Scott became a literal like American Psycho sociopath to like one of the most normal people on the entire fucking show.
I think he had to kind of change up. Yeah, because it wasn't working. Like health wise, I think he was in decline.
Well, yeah. He was on
in
his
steep decline.
He was on his way out.
I've seen them in person a few times, and Chloe was very sweet. And what's his name?
I remember I saw Chloe.
Looked a wreck.
We met them with BLG.
Yeah. What's his name? That Scott. He looked
A mess.
rough.
He was probably on a 4-day bender.
Dude, it was in Vegas when I saw him, and they were partying at a club, and in real life he didn't look so good. And this was around that time. So yeah, I think
this was
for
peak
his
Kardashian time.
for his own mental health. Like I think he had to normalize.
What casino was that?
The Venetian is
Venetian,
where I saw
that's right.
him. Yeah.
Yeah. Was it Venetian?
No.
Which has that chandelier
talking
or
about-
center bar where we met? We met up with Boys Like Girls.
So Chloe,
and
I
we saw Chloe and them.
I met her at the Beatles Love Lounge.
The Beatles Love Lounge, exactly right. Yeah. Where's that? Where's Beatles? Venetian.
That's Mirage.
Mirage. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It was for the love, and then they have their the lounge, I guess.
The
it's called,
Mirage,
yeah.
which no longer exists. I'm
I
sure
know,
that's
so
going to be
sad.
demolished soon. Yeah.
It's what's it called now? Hard Rock. Hard Rock bought it.
They're going to blow it up, and
Yeah, it's
I
hard. It's
hope
going to be
so,
Hard
'cause
Rock.
That's gross.
It's going to be Hard Rock,
Yeah.
which is wild.
Yeah, you got to do it. Yeah, you can't.
McKenna, you rock.
Yeah.
We love you so much. Everybody, we appreciate the heck out of
She
you.
knows Lemonade Mouth. Yes.
Oh,
watch it.
Wait, how old is Emily? She's not in middle school.
It's at least 10 years old.
Oh, no way.
But-
because your daughter was like a baby.
Yeah, she was a
child.
little one. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, shout out McKenna. Shout out Chase. You guys freaking rock. We appreciate you. Everybody who is a member, everybody who subscribes, everybody who likes this video, right meow.
Yeah.
We appreciate you guys. Moose Heaven, you can rock. Everybody rocks. Yep, if you want to become a member, it means the world to us. It helps us hugely, but also just hitting that like button. And you know what? Share the video. Even send it to yourself. We
Yeah,
won't
why
tell
not?
anybody. It helps the algorithm. It helps us go out to more people. And that gives us the ability to make more quality or bad quality content. Yeah, so we appreciate it. So from Jared, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. Like he said, like, subscribe, chat. Thank you for being with us for the entire show. And make sure to you terminate. All right.
Okay, is that one of the fucking
That's
songs?
the main song. It's the best. Determinate.
Later, oh, dude, Moose Heaven just called me out. You see that?
Yeah.
Wow, God bless. Now that's my name. God bless. Okay, guys, thank you so much. You rock. D Live, Wire McKenna, Felicity, all of you, Moose Heaven. That's so good. CT, everybody, thank you. We love you. We're filming something right now. Go check out our Thunderbolts video, our prediction video. See how we got everything right. And then we
Yes.
have a very cool video about how Steven Spielberg might be working for the government. Dun, dun, dun.
Hollywood Disclosure.
Hollywood Disclosure, baby. Just go check it out. It's a fun video. And then we'll have another one coming out this week or beginning of next week. We'll see. So we love you guys. We appreciate you. I can't even say it, but I got it. Yeah, we love you. You're the best. You're the bees knees. You're the cat's PJs. And we will see you on that flippity flop. Later, Skidder!